Hello, everyone. I'm Ronan and Chain, and welcome back to the Syndicate, a Star Wars podcast. I'm your host, and y'all, we are a month away from a Star Wars celebration. To everybody going, konnichiwa and saludos. But y'all know that I don't like talking about Star Wars by myself, and I got two compadres that love as much as I do, if not more, and we're gonna want to geek out about this as well. So, Brent, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, how's it going, man? Hey.
Good.
Hey, everybody. Oh,
And
Star Wars Celebration. It came so quickly.
dude, and to someone who also has meant a lot to me in terms of the community and whatnot in Star Wars, and someone who I am gonna like hug the shit out of when I see him in Japan is Kyle Katarn. What's up, hermano?
Hello there.
Kyle.
How's it going, man? Thanks for having me on.
Thanks,
I can't
man.
wait. Can't wait to hang out with you in Japan, man.
Bro, the amount of sake I'm gonna be drinking, man.
Legit though.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, folks, literally a month away of this being happening. And for the first time since early 2000, that is going back to Japan, that has really an emotional and philosophical connection to Star Wars in itself, with how much this influenced George Lucas and, you know, Jedi's, the wipes. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah, I think for those who are wondering, that we are going to be talking about the panels, the guests going, our thoughts, expectations, and then a couple of us, we're going to talk about what we hope to experience out of Japan and how we're going to try to work to, at least in my angle, and I think Kyle might try that as well on his channel, to bring people who weren't unfortunately able to go to Japan but still be part of the celebration in a capacity. And so, yeah, man,
We're working on it.
We're putting up the irons in the fire right now. It's a lot to do within this month now, but I think the force
is in the forge, you could say.
Yeah, the force is strong with us, and I got a feeling that we might pull something off. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but I think we'll definitely be doing it.
The force finds a way.
That's the hard part. I'm coming from the side that I can't get over there. It's a little too costly. I've spent my money elsewhere, unfortunately, and it's a challenge for us Star Wars fans in general, and it takes a lot of expense and costs. So congratulations to the both of you first of being able to get your funding together and head over there. But I'm so excited to see what you guys will hear first, because you are the front line at that point.
That's true.
Yeah.
We're gonna be right there, getting the news, getting the reveals, getting the drops. That's kind of what I'm most excited for, I think, is the information more so necessarily than the things we're going to see. But I have to agree with your point and say that, like, they definitely didn't make it easy for us, right? It's like, dude, it's Japan, which is expensive anyway, but it's like cherry blossom season, middle of April, like the most expensive time to possibly go.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I'm sure that was a factor too. Like that, like the tourism board's like, oh yeah, no, bring him here at this time.
I'm just curious. May I ask, just as a side note, what does it take to like find a hotel and all that? Do they give you suggestions? Do they give you options when they set up the celebration, or are you on your own when it comes to that part and all that?
It was available via the homepage, but by the time it was officially out, if you will, a lot of stuff had sold. Like, me and Kyle had been talking about this since the day we bought the tickets. Of like, remember that, Kyle? It was Star Wars night at Disneyland. I had just landed there. My flight had got delayed, and on the road to the hotel to go to Disneyland, the tickets went on sale. I know he was having a journey to get them. I was having a journey. I know our friends Nerdy Nightly were having a journey to get it. Everybody was having a journey.
Oh, man, we were all going through it. Everyone was looking at that stupid little green guy walking in a circle, and walking down the line, waiting for our chance in the queue.
And I think what I found, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Kyle, or you have a different perspective, is that, like, the hotels were there. The most nearest ones and more convenient ones that would help for those who don't speak the language, have never been to Japan, went like that. And unless you looked later on in booking, you might have found some. But I think equally enough, and I'll probably try this next time when I go to Japan, I think in the near future, which I don't know when that will be. But like, Airbnb was also available, and dare I say, cheaper than most stuff here in the States as of now. Would you agree with me, Kyle, or you're like,
I did quite a bit of shopping around before I settled on the hotel that I went with. And Airbnbs were definitely like cheaper.
Yeah.
I think they're less competitive with each other. Maybe is what it is. Or maybe like we were looking early enough that it didn't reflect like the seasonal price increases that are going to get hit. Yeah. But I jumped on my hotel like immediately, and it's like right across from the convention center. And I got lucky. Like they went really fast. I'm part of the reason why they went fast because I got one. But I'm a big fan of having my own bathroom. Being able to cross the street, do what I need to do, and then go back to the fun. Instead of waiting in line in like a sweaty restroom. It's a whole thing. I will spare you the rant, but there's an official block of rooms that's coming out. That has not been announced yet, and the location hasn't been announced yet for Celebration goers. And I'm pretty sure it's the same building that I'm already in, which is ironic.
Yeah,
I have to figure out what floor all the big influencers are on, and then go annoy them.
Yeah, nice. Before we go any further, we got some viewers and some comments. So those who are watching, thank you so much. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If anything else right now, spread the word. If you're anybody in the States who's awake or in Japan or anywhere around the world, please let them invite them.
Try and look around in your surroundings and find like a trash can lid and some sort of a striking device and just start.
Just set a signal out. Yeah.
Get them up. Get them on here.
But Jason Dahl says, "What up, Kyle, Roner, and Brent? Saludos, Jason.
How you doing?
Hey. Wizard Nerd 76 says, "Hello there. How's
Wizard
everyone?"
Nerd 76, my dude. How you doing, man? Good to see you here.
Gonk, indeed, the Gonk Master.
Oh, speaking of gonks, check it out. And speaking of Celebration, I'm currently wearing the our Celebration trip hoodie that we had commissioned. The Tokyo Gonk. That's going to be featured on a bunch of our swag that we're going to be trading with people.
Awesome.
That's cool. Kyle and Connie, shout out to Connie, was so sweet to send me some stuff as well. And I got little fanny pack of the emblem as well that you can see there.
Yeah. Ooh, nice.
I'll be using this going to the airport and being like, no, this is where my chargers and where my phone and my little manga is going to be. I'm going to put
100%. Yeah, no, I'm keeping everything in my little Gonk pack. And then we have the Park Forces one from the year before.
Yes.
Also, shout out to Connie. She made all of our merch stuff possible.
Thank you, Connie.
Nice.
But yeah, Wizard Nerd 76 is hoping Celebration 2026 or 2027 is in Canada. I would love to go to Canada.
Yeah, me too.
It's closer to us, I think, in many regards. But I would love to do that. But you said you have thoughts, Kyle?
I think that the next international one could be Canada, but I think the very next Celebration is most likely going to be domestic. I think they're skipping 2026. If I had to throw a prediction out there, I would say Celebration 2027 is going to be Orlando, Florida.
I can see that.
That's my prediction.
Makes sense.
But the next international one, I would love it if it was Canada. Honestly, like Toronto, or really nice for me, Vancouver. Really close to where I live. So, really
skip across the border.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And hell, Seattle's got a brand new convention center. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, I live in LA. It's just a drive straight up the coastline.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the dream right there. You can hit Anaheim. You can hit Galaxy's Edge whenever you please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Without a flight, that must be nice.
Sometimes.
Well, yeah, right.
The crowds are still there.
Hello, Keyblade Master Jeffrey. How you doing, man? Where's the nursing center? My dude, how are you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing good. I'm doing.
You guys from Canada? Yeah, I appreciate all the love.
I like Canada. Just want to throw that on the record. I'm a big fan of Canada.
I've been wanting to go for a while, and especially now that they've shot The Last of Us over there, I am like, I need to go to the set locations. I'm like, I don't care. Like take me there. I'll happily. I got a passport. I'm set.
I forgive Canadians for having weird names for their money. Loonies and Toonies. What is that about? It's okay. It's okay. Nobody's perfect. Like, I love you guys.
But I think what we'll start with is that well, let's talk about the guests first, and then we'll do the panels, because the panels is like
it's a whole
humongous amount of stuff that we can do, and that's something that we might want to talk about of us doing stuff there. But the guest list that has been announced there that you can find autographs, photo ops, opportunities, and even in panels are these guests. We got Diego Luna as Cassian Andor promoting there, gonna be there.
Spread.
Yeah,
thank you. Smorgasbord.
Yeah, we got Sam Witwer as, of course, Maul. We have him as Starkiller Bay. Starkiller Base, Jesus, Starkiller.
The whole base.
Ahmed
very
Best,
talented actor. The whole base.
Yeah, Ahmed Best, John Noll. Dude, the fact that John Noll is there and we'll be able to like meet him and take a photo with him is like,
that's crazy.
Can we get him to sign like a CD-ROM of Photoshop,
bro? Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that's almost genius. I almost want to do that. Oscar Isaac, which I think he rarely does celebrations, and I don't know if I'm able to get him to sign stuff, but I at least want to go and just shake his hand and be like, dude, I know we're in Star Wars, but Ex Machina.
He definitely only showed up because of the chance to hang out in Japan.
Yeah, like I think, that was like, all right, I'll do a vacation in Japan. Of course, we have Rosario Dawson there as Ahsoka. We have Vanessa Marshall as the general, in my opinion, General Harrison Dula, the chosen one, coming back to Celebration. Happy.
We have to also say Vanessa Marshall, Jan Ors, right? Kyle Katarn's girlfriend.
Yeah. And also go watch her podcast with Tia Sakar and Taylor Gray.
Her podcast is so good. Her podcast is so
I haven't
good.
had the chance to see it yet.
I've been really enjoying it. Check it out.
So good. But Hayden Christensen is coming back. Nice to see him again. Anthony Daniels, C-3PO. Ashley Eckstein as Ashoka Tano.
Of course.
We have Tamara Morrison as the Boba Fett. Back in the saddle. We have Daniel Logan as young Boba Fett. We have Alan Tudyk, K2SO. Manny Jacinto, right? Of the Acolyte, the other, if you will, from the Acolyte. And I think one of the coolest actors of all time, Mads Mikkelsen as Gillen Erso. And just like, to be quite frank, I think he's there to work out some stuff with Hideo Kojima for Death Stranding, and he's just like, all right, Star Wars is happening. I'll hang out there. Yeah.
I heard a rumor that he's not actually going to be there, and instead there'll be an exclusive Hot Toys variant of him standing in his booth. You can take a photo of that instead.
But yeah, this is the lineup thus far that we know of guests going there. Kyle, I asked you this: are you going to go shopping for autos and photos?
I am honestly undecided about it right now. Like, there's definitely people in there that I would love to meet. A lot of them I've met before. Like, I got to meet Vanessa Marshall at Emerald City. Daniel Logan I've met several times. We need to start calling him Old Young Boba Fett.
Yeah, he's getting there.
Yeah,
mid 30s.
Him and I actually go way back. We are from the same neighborhood in Auckland, in New Zealand.
Wait, you originally from New Zealand?
Yeah, I was born there. I grew up over there. I moved to the States when I was a preteen.
Idea. I'm from Western Australia, so.
Nice, yeah. Undercover Kiwi over here. You'd never know it to hear me talk.
I did not know that. What a surprise. Crazy.
Yeah, I too am indecisive. Yeah, like to me, it's so weird because I'm so hyped. I'm like, let me just get on the plane. Let me just get there and make sure I can get
real
back.
enough yet. Once I know it's actually happening.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, money is a big part of it too.
Yes.
The autographs are pretty expensive, even just the photo ops themselves. I think it's definitely worth it though. In Anaheim, I met Ian McDermott and Sam Witwer, and I did the photo ops.
Remember that?
That was really fun. It was really special. You get like 10 seconds with him, but as long as you are good at thinking about what you want to say before you get into that little booth, and you have like 2 hours in the line to come up with whatever you're going to say.
Yeah.
10 seconds can be enough time to have like a little connection, and then you're gone. And I had a really good connection with Ian McDermott for those 10 seconds.
That's cool.
And I'll treasure that. I'd say that's worth the money for sure.
Yeah.
That's cool. These guys all mostly do a lot of the conventions here in America anyway. So really, they are going to be at some of the smaller ones and some of the larger ones. So you're always going to know, get that chance. I mean, that's the thing from 2022 convention out here in Anaheim. There is so much else going on that to be waiting in line is something you don't want to be losing, especially since
it felt like you were sacrificing something else. Like
panels and
that too. Mm-hmm. That's why I didn't do nearly as many panels as I thought I was going to. Like
really,
Anaheim 2022, that was my first celebration.
Same.
I did some research about the panels. I didn't register for them or anything like that. But I had this idea in my head. I was like, oh, I'm going to see this, and this on the first day, and then this, and this. And then there was so much on the con floor, so much cool stuff just hanging around. And
there was stuff you just couldn't get into either.
You ended up having to choose. And it was like, I'm going to choose the spontaneous thing that's unplanned and happening in front of me over a panel every time.
Live stage. Cheers to the live stage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like going to a concert now. I finally hit the age bracket where I'd rather sit in the bar area than be in like the mosh pit, you know?
Sure.
I'll watch the metal band safely from like over on this side.
Yeah.
And then go to bed at 11.
Yeah, at this point I've met Vanessa Marshall, you know, I've interacted with her on Twitch and whatnot, and like I'm probably, if I have time, I'll probably go and line up just to say hi to her. Like I would want to just have her be like, hey, just here talking about to say hi to you. It's happy to see you again in person. The podcast is going forward, and like I don't know. At this point, with the way I'm rolling now, I want to start like just saying, hey, I'm just asking if you ever, you know, I would love to have you on the podcast. I would love to promote anything you want. You want to promote your podcast, anything you want, but just to have that time to be like, not only am I trying to just greet you, I'm not trying to get you to sign something that potentially folks might start selling on eBay for 2 or 3 times the amount that they spend on getting autos, but like just start building that bond in a respective way, like fan and creator and whatnot.
Sometimes it's worth it to do that, to like sort of put your time in, especially if you're a frequent con goer, someone who goes to multiple cons. Chances are you're going to have multiple opportunities to meet these same people. So sometimes if you start out with just like, hi, I want to meet you, one human being to another human being, and leave it at that, that's a great first impression. And then you come back at another event. Hey, remember me? I do actually, because you didn't ask anything of me. You were just saying hi. Yeah. Building a rapport that way. And like I've had the privilege of being able to do that with several cool Star Wars actors. And
that's great.
It is an impulse you have to suppress, though. You know, you're like, hey, can you sign my blah blah blah? I want to tell you all about this. Like, it's hard, especially for people like me. It's hard not to info dump on someone that you've been thinking about your whole life.
Oh, I did that to Mark Campbell about 25 years ago at a convention out here in Anaheim, and it was, here's my photographs of my collection back in Australia.
As soon as it starts,
he was so cool, though. He was so polite, and it was so cool. It was just he loved everybody. Well, I think
I'm sure he gets it all the time too.
Oh yeah, like, absolutely.
You literally cannot stop yourself once you start.
No,
like it just takes over. It takes over. Yeah, I'm hoping I don't do that too much. Yeah, we'll see.
So I think Keyblade said they need to make Star Killer canon, do more stuff with Mule, and do something with Cameron Monaghan as Cal Kestis. Hey man, I think they're still developing the third Jedi Survivor. So yeah, Jedi Survivor game.
Absolutely a trilogy. Yeah, the third one's underway. It's underway. And can I just point out? I love that Maul is spelled Mule. It makes me think of Maul just like sitting back with a Moscow Mule. I think that would have changed a lot for him if he got to enjoy one of those. Like, he would have been a much more relaxed person.
But yeah, I think, if they want to put Cal Kestis in live action in one of these shows, I am.
It is happening. It's happening.
I'm here for it.
It's not even a wish for me. It's a when. They cast him and they made that character so iconically his face.
Oh, absolutely.
There wasn't a doubt in my mind from Jedi Fallen Order onwards. We're seeing this guy on Disney Plus eventually. He's so good. He's so good.
Yeah.
And the writing behind Cal Kestis has been like equal quality, and like he really is a compelling protagonist with a story that you want to follow and you want to know what happens to him. And I've been convinced since day one, like, he's definitely making the jump to live action at some point. They're just waiting for him to age up a little bit, I think, so that he can be the requisite age to like hang out in the Mandoverse timeline.
To pass the game's point of time, and
because like I got to meet him too. I met him at the Acolyte premiere in the theater. He's just too youthful looking still. You know, they could put some gray in the hair, but like the face isn't going to sell it yet. They got to wait like another 5 years or so. Then they can, dress him up a bit and have him be middle-aged Cal showing up.
That'd be sweet, though.
Well, because he's so young. He's so young in his games that it's before the trilogy. Before, like the period that we focus on now is so much after that. They need to age him up a little bit to have him hang out, I think.
Yeah.
Which is not a problem.
No.
Master Jeffrey said, "Thank you for noticing my misspell." Elo, we got you, man. We understood. We understood what you're going for. But yeah, I think the next thing that we can talk about is the panels. Now, there's just a recent thing that occurred where not too big of stuff, if you will, occurring in terms of live action and whatnot. There's some stuff, but it's mostly animated stuff. Which, hey man, I love my animation.
I'm all about it.
That's my big thing. That's my big thing.
Exactly.
I want to know.
And also, how appropriate is that, right, for Japan?
Yeah.
Of course, we're going to focus on the animation.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
that feels true to form.
Yeah,
I think so. Let's see. I'm gonna put that up. We're gonna go through it. Can you guys see it well, or do you need me to expand it?
Oh, we can see
that's
that.
Great. Yeah, that's
okay.
good.
Okay, so let's focus fully on Friday for now. So the very first things is Bachi Mako Hyperlane and Collector Social at the very, very early stuff opening for the event. That's happening up on the collector stage, and at 10 a.m. is when things start kicking into real gear in almost every stage. You have Living Your Star Wars Story in theme parks in the fan stage, opening greeting of fan club introductions in the Galaxy Senate stage. But the big kahuna, the first one coming out of the gate, is The Mandalorian and Grogu in the celebration stage, and also streaming to both Galaxy stage and Twin Sun stage. So I have been biting my tongue not to like bring up a lot of this stuff, just to wait. I'm like, dude, you're gonna stream with the guys in a few days, talk about it then. You know, we'll start talking about these stuff in individual ways and see how they play out. But let's start with Brent. This is happening now that the show concluded on season 3 with them sitting on the porch. And we did see a little bit of a glimpse of what the movie's about. From D23, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
For as far as we know right now, is that like Din Djarin and Grogu Djarin are going to be potentially hunting down Imperial warlords. And there's been reports of who's involved. All we know outside of this officially is that a big person involved with this is the legendary Sigourney Weaver. What are your thoughts going into this panel? Hearing thoughts on it? Are you excited about the film? Are you interested to see what details are going to be revolving, or what do you feel about it thus far?
Well, first, I think you guys are going to get a great trailer. We are probably not going to see that. We're going to hear the after notes from you guys, and I think that's
not.
Hopefully it's not. Hopefully, but it's still a year out. So I imagine that being a whole year out, we're probably not going to get a trailer. We might get some artwork on our end, but I think you'll be seeing some footage. I don't know if you'll be seeing a trailer necessarily, but I'm sure they'll show you some scenes or something of finished work. I'm as for what it's going to be like as a movie, I'm expecting that whatever they had planned for season 4 is still the loose thread through line. So I'm just excited to see a Star Wars movie on the big screen. I'm hoping that we have enough separation from the TV format to the big screen format to make it feel epic, as we, as I hate to say as we deserve, but as we are given. So I'm really hoping that we do get this incredible epic piece of work in the Mandoverse and not feel like it's a TV show kind of extension is my big thing there. As for the people who are going to be there, I'm sure you've only got maybe 1/4 of the name drops that are going to turn up. I'm going to assume that most of it's on people's schedules and stuff like that. It'd be cool to see, say, Sigourney Weaver on the stage or something like that. I don't know how big or intricate her part's going to be. It may be huge, it may be small. We don't know. Maybe she's the next Mon Mothma scale of Return of the Jedi. Maybe she's like in it throughout. But as for everybody else, I mean, I mean, what can I say? It's yeah. I guess I'm done.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Al, we're gonna try to get in there, man. We're gonna try our damnest next week as reservations open up. So for those of you all attending, be ready next week.
Yeah. You won't know on the day. You will know in advance of a whole.
There's a registration that's happening on the 25th. That's going to be our opportunity to snag a spot in that panel.
Gotcha. Oh, that's good. That was better than they had before, but yeah.
It's gonna go quick.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
It's gonna sell out, and my prediction would be like 20 minutes tops.
Yeah. Kyle, what are your thoughts?
I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm a little anxious about whether or not we're going to get that spot, but it looks like the celebration stage is being streamed to like the majority of stages at that same time. Mm-hmm. So whether or not we're in the room, we'll be able to see that panel, and I'm looking forward to that no matter what.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah. I also agree with Brent that there's definitely more names that haven't been announced yet. And as far as I can remember, every single Star Wars celebration has included a surprise guest showing up on stage at a panel that was not even announced was going to be at Celebration at all. They've done that multiple times. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's like some big name that they're like they're not going to even tell us until they walk out on that panel stage. And then everyone's like, oh my God, it's Mark Hamill, something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm really, because it's what we're assuming it's standard 1 hour panel.
Well, when's the next panel on the Celebration stage that day? Because that'll tell us how long it is.
As of now, Mando and Grogu is going from 10 a.m. and again, there won't be nothing until I believe 1 p.m. maybe later down the line, which right now we'll show it. But yeah, I think. Yeah, in terms of my expectations with this is that like I need that concept art, just a little taste of that. I need a little more taste of that. Yeah. Not much more. I think
I'm hoping that we meet Grogu. I'm hoping that Grogu comes to the panel.
Yeah, like he did in
I feel like it's not unreasonable. Star Wars Celebration. This is the one time
Anaheim was great. Yeah, when I was on the sideline, but man, I had a good sideline.
You got to breathe the same air as that puppet.
If I could be in the same room as my queen, Sigourney Weaver, I will probably faint, and I'll probably need you, Kyle, to yo, somebody shock him in the chair,
I'll get you some water, drag you to the side,
okay,
and then I'll
Ripley. Yeah. But yeah, I'm pumped. I really hope we can get into that one because it's the first big Kahuna stuff, and I think it'll be fun to talk about after the panel itself.
I am a little torn. I'm a little torn though, I will say, because it's at the same time as the first look at Star Wars Visions Volume 3.
Well, that Visions Volume 3 is on Sunday.
Oh, I see. Are these 3 columns?
The way they set it up is Friday on the left, middle is Saturday, and then Sunday.
So we're looking down, not across.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So now I'm reading it correctly.
Yeah. Wizard Nerds in Text said, "What time do we think they're going to live stream it on YouTube?" This is where it gets tricky. This is where it gets tricky in terms of it's gonna. I don't know how you think about it, Kyle, but it's gonna have to be early morning for us, 10 a.m. one up, but it'll probably be either late at night or 2 o'clock in the morning for folks in the States or whatnot. I have to do the math, but I feel like it's gonna be like that. I feel.
Yeah.
And I think they said
have my cat wake up at 4 in the morning and turn my OBS on and record the stream so I can have a copy of it.
I hope. Listen to y'all. I remember when I had to do that at one point for I think it was Europe at one point when people had to wake up super early for the trailer to drop and whatnot. So my heart goes out to y'all if you have to wake up early. But I think between that and the coverage we're gonna try to give to you,
I'm gonna do the conversion real quick here.
What is it?
6 p.m., 10 a.m. here. 10
there we
p.m.
go.
Yeah, 10 a.m. in
so that's not too bad.
6 p.m. PST.
Oh,
you might go to bed late a little bit.
That should be a pretty easy to access, at least the first part of the stream.
Yeah. Before we go, do we think they'll pay tribute to James Earl Jones, or did they do that last year? Well, there wasn't a celebration last year. That was 2023 of Europe.
And it was. I would imagine they'd have to do something. Yeah.
If they're promoting the big Vader guy in the wallpapers, that might be to an extent. They might be salute to the guy that literally looks like a samurai in dark armor that paved the way for cinema eyeballs just melting. Yeah. But back to the panels. After the Mandalorian Grogu panel, we got Who's the Boss on the HoloNet News stage. We got the 501st Legion. Bad guys doing good, past and present, future, and the Galactic Senate stage. Star Wars TV ads through the years and University stage. That is during the 10 a.m. Mark. We got Saber Guild's kids lightsaber training in the Galactic Senate stage. PBB first shots fine. Dark Side for Life, Why the Bad Guys Are So Impactful and Just Way Cooler, Explore the Force, and Hasbro Star Wars panel during the 11 a.m. mark. I think people are going to want to tune into the Hasbro stuff, especially for the hardcore collectibles of like.
There's going to be some exclusives out there that are going to be just blow you away.
Yeah. At 12, we got Ahsoka Underworld, Mythology, Folklore, and Fairy Tales, and Joseph Campbell.
That sounds fascinating.
Lucasfilm Publishing, Manga Mania in the Galaxy stage. I think that's going to be very beautiful to see if we can make it work. Just to explore the manga side of Star Wars, which I've been appreciating what they've been doing with the Mandalorian stuff in terms of turning that story into a manga. We got for costuming, we got Woman of Star Wars, costuming across the galaxy, and Star Wars coins and medallions at 12 mark. Let's see. The Light and Magic is the next big celebration stage thing. A glimpse into the magic.
That's going to be worth seeing.
Looking forward to seeing that season 2. I can imagine that's where John Knoll, right? Is that
John O. I believe Doug Chang is going to be there as well. So they're going to be on that panel. Make no mistake, I believe. And that's only going to be in the celebration stage. So that's going to probably be a hot event for people to get seats for. We got Saber Guild choices, screening of Star Wars Visions, The Duel and the Pit, and the Twin Sun stage, Star Wars in the 1990s, video games and their impact on Star Wars Origami Workshop. Then we have Bachimako, Hyperlane, Lucasfilm Publishing, Stories from a Galaxy Far, Far Away. A lot of book readers are going to want to tune into that. We got the Mandomarks Costume Club, Saber Guild's Kids Lightsaber Training, very origin of Japanese collectibles in 1978, I think. Man, I
see.
You know me. Man,
I got to stop in here. Remember, you're in Japan, and they're going to have a lot of Japanese influence, obviously, at the celebration. And this is going to be incredible for you guys just to see how a different culture, up front and close, is going to be able to take on these elements of what the Americanized system of what we think of the Star Wars films, and see it from a totally different culture. That's fascinating. That's incredible.
And look at the badges.
That's something you should be aware of. Yeah, the badges.
Absolutely.
I should have pulled up the badges images, but like the badges are looking just. There's a Mon Mothma one that I want so bad. I'm just like, oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
I already printed out some small copies and put them on one of my doors in my apartment.
I just the print.
I framed.
I actually got to see large versions of them recently because that artist was at Emerald City Comic Con.
Oh, no way!
And their booth had a bunch of like the large versions and other ones that weren't
what
other characters too.
What do the prints sell for roughly?
Oh, I didn't even look.
Okay,
I didn't even look at the print, like the price on those ones. I was like, I'm already tapped out.
Yeah, fair enough. But
that's the thing about going to a Comic Con like weeks before you go to Japan. Choices. You got to make choices. Sacrifices.
Yeah. The Elanena podcast is going to be going at 2:30 p.m. I think. Let's see where we're at. We're at the 30-minute mark. Okay, folks, for those who are watching now live or in the future, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, grow this out more. Folks, you're going to be getting a ton of coverage coming in a few weeks from Star Wars Celebration. I'm going to want to go through a lot because there's a whole lot of stuff. There's a whole day. I'm going to go through some of the main panels that I think people are going to want to keep their eye out who unfortunately won't be there and trying to see if there's going to be any coverage. So forgive me for all the panels starting the fan stages, but know that like we will be promoting the hell out of this schedule out when the time comes. Like we got your back in that. But I think for first day, Friday, I think the next big thing that I think Kyle and I are going to try to get into is Lucasfilm Animation 20th anniversary.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one.
On the celebration stage and the Galaxy stage. Just those two rooms are going to be showcasing it. I got a feeling we're getting a new series. We're getting a new series in animation.
Clone Rebellion happening.
Clone Rebellion?
That's my prediction.
Okay.
You going with Clone Rebellion, Kyle? Enlighten me. Why do you think that's the next thing in the books?
Because that's what we've been setting up. That's what we spent the last 3 series setting up.
And you're talking about like the end of the clones at this point, and where they completely taper off.
Picking up the pieces late in Bad Batch. It's really going to be the culmination of all those elements. Like Rex, Cody just went AWOL. The batch escapes, but we've still got all these other clones with these ideas, and like that needs to be realized. So that's what I think is coming next. Clone Rebellion.
Makes sense.
And possibly something in a different time period altogether. But there's no way we're not getting the end of this clone-centric story, because we haven't finished it yet.
I'm really gonna want to see them celebrating the past. Like, I really hope that they put in there somewhere the holiday special animation where they introduce Boba Fett. I hope that Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars gets some love in there, and then obviously we'll probably spend time between Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch, Resistance, Young Adventures, or Young Jedi down there.
Season 2 just dropped the second half of the season today, I believe.
Right. And Filoni's going to be there.
I hope they talk about the micro series in the panel. I hope Tartakovsky gets his flowers, because he was a big part of animated Star Wars back in the beginning, too.
Man.
I've been saying it. They should put him for live action just during one episode. Like, it is so up his alley. I don't know. I can't tell you how many times.
Visions? That'd be a cool American Visions. But it would be cool to see an American.
I would love to get him to do like an official Visions short. That'd be so good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I hear what you're saying, Ronan. Let him direct an episode of live action, because his style would that would be cool. I
remember people saying that like the Mandalorian first few episodes felt like Samurai Jack meets the spaghetti westerns that Leone and Morricone put together. Like it's up his alley. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think
we've got a lot of silent protagonists these days. So like up his alley.
Bro. But yeah, I think that's the big panels for the first day. I'm gonna give some love for Expedient Gonk, because I know Kyle's a big Gonk guy. And for Senator, Rebel, Chancellor, who is Mon Mothma, the fan stage at 4:00. And I think that's for the most part. Doug Chang is gonna have his own panel designing the world of Skeleton Crew for any folks in the Galaxy stage.
That's pretty.
That'll
cool.
be Japanese vintage.
That'd be amazing.
But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap up the first day. Now, second day, Saturday, like in most San Diego Comic Cons and celebrations, that's the big beefy day. We're like, oh fuck, when am I gonna use the restroom? When am I gonna eat? How much am I gonna sleep? That's the big day that like, what is gonna happen and how is it gonna happen? And I think from the get-go, Andor, Star Wars Story, 10 a.m. Folks, not only celebration is happening in a month, fucking season 2, the second and final season of Andor is dropping. I think all of us collectively have been putting out reactions to the trailers and thoughts on season 2. Yep. It is.
We're gonna have 3 episodes to get through before we're on the plane.
And I'm if I was a betting man in Vegas, I think they're gonna do what they did for Obi-Wan Kenobi, where they're gonna show us the first 3 episodes there, and like it's like that enjoy. This is where the premiere is gonna be, and like see y'all on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it drops, for the rest of the world. I really hope Diego's going to be there. I really hope.
Pretty sure it will be.
That it's going to be.
Genevieve probably will be. Yeah.
Oh, dude, if I can get a photo with Genevieve Riley, I'll probably just pack up and go. I'm like, I'm set. I'm good. I met Mon Mothma. I'm set. To me, and I love Diego. You know, if I can tell y'all, what Diego and what Cassian means to me, it's on a whole nother personal level. But to me, I've been so profoundly moved, both with what Cassian Andor has been able to do, but what Mon Mothma, what Genevieve Riley has been getting to do these past few years. Yeah, she is up there for me now with Leia, with Bo, with Ahsoka. Like she has been getting, and again in different dimensions, not no combat. It's just like, okay, how can she get ahead of the curve of Palpatine, of all these Grand Moffs, of all these Imperial warlords? Like it is fascinating the route they've been taking the character, and I'm very hopeful that they dive deep into that a little bit without spoiling stuff in that panel.
I feel like getting to meet Genevieve O'Reilly would feel like meeting a world leader.
Bro.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I think I'd rather meet her than an actual president. I would have more respect.
Yes.
At the Anaheim Convention 2022, did you guys see them both on the live stage at all when they were doing the live
I
stage?
did. I wasn't there at that moment, but I did see the video of like and they were.
I was literally 10 feet away from the live stage. I wasn't.
Oh, you bastard!
I got in right there, and
my face shows up on the live stream a couple times. I wasn't there.
Oh, really? Yeah, I was like literally standing right there, watching from 10 feet away, and the love that they both had and the admiration they had for not just the audience but for their characters, you got it just purely from them talking on stage, and it was incredible. So I am hyped to see what they do in season 2.
Yeah, I know somebody else is hyped to do Celebration, which might be his first celebration. That's my paisano, Bizzybron. What's up, bro?
What's up? How you guys doing?
How you doing, man?
Yeah,
Brent, Kyle. This is Busy, Brent, and Kyle.
Hey.
Yeah, I've met Kyle a few times.
Nice.
Good to meet you, Brent.
Yeah, you too, man.
But yeah, definitely my first celebration. So first time leaving the country. So it's gonna
dude, it's gonna be wild. You picked a hell of a celebration to be first, like in Japan. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. The only reason I'm doing it too is because I think me and Ronan were like filming something, and I think it was like 2023, and I think he was like in London during it all, and he's like, "Oh well, you got to come next time." I'm like, "When's next time?" He's like, "Japan." I'm like, "Well, that's kind of a jump, don't you think?" Like, I haven't even flown across the country, never mind the world.
No, dive in head first. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna test the waters.
I recently rewatched that, and I was almost half asleep. And you're like, "Oh, you poor bastard! You're so fucking tired." Like, I know, man, but we gotta talk about Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, we can reschedule. You're like, no, I'm fine.
Like, no, I live this shit, man.
So, yeah.
Busy. Thus far, we've been talking about the panels and some of the guests. I think the big stuff that's coming down in these first few days, as of now that we talked about, is the Mandalorian and Grogu panel, the Lucasfilm Animation 20th Anniversary panel, and then Andor season 2 panel on Saturday morning, and the amount of guests that you can get autographs and photos. What are you looking forward to? What are the things that are on your bucket list to be like, I want to try to get into that or meet?
So I'm really excited about everything. I'm gonna be completely honest though. When it came to like the reservations and stuff, for some reason, it was giving me like trouble logging in and stuff. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna work myself up over that. The one thing I'm really excited about though is like the show floor, because I've been to Comic-Cons and stuff, but I don't know how big it is compared to a normal Comic-Con, and I'm just excited to just
that's my priority.
Waste my money. I'm really looking forward to it. Like it's good. Like I'm gonna be in Japan for 2 weeks, but like since this is how I'm starting my trip, it's a little worrying because I know like I'm gonna see a lot of things and just want to immediately buy it, and then for the next 2 weeks I'm gonna have nothing to spend.
It's gonna be such an exercise in self-control, I think, for all of us.
I don't know if I have that, but I'll have to work on it.
Find out. That's the tough thing. We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're all looking forward to that panel of Andor. I think for a lot of us who are traveling and do videos, it's gonna be a bitch and a half to like cover that and try to have a fun. Like, I gotta get a video up, but I'm not in my home office and stuff. So I salute everybody who's traveling and who is content creators and who are gonna be promoting and covering that show. And I think it's gonna be a little bit sad saying goodbye because I love the show so much. And but I think hopefully for a few of these characters, it won't be the last time we see them. I think for Genevieve Riley, I think she just scratched a big part of her character, and I hope we see more of Mon Mothma down the line. Yeah. But for that day after Andor, the next big panel, which is a few hours afterwards, is at 1 p.m. Ahsoka on all 3 stages, mainly the celebration stage, but it'll be streaming on Galaxy and Twin Suns. This was the panel in Europe that was the Rolling Stones rock and roll concert that I was just like, I need to fucking get in.
They start filming at the end of April too, right?
I've heard, I could be wrong.
That's what I heard.
That they either start filming or they've already shot a little bit. And I'm if I was a Benny man right now, they're gonna do what they did for Anaheim, where it was like, what was the panel? Mandalorian Plus, where like they talk about Mandalorian for the most part, but they're like, okay, we've barely been shooting, and the crew is just too giddy about this. So we shot a tiny bit just to give you hints of what's coming to the pipeline. Yeah. I gotta. I'm not gonna. I'm setting my expectations. but I got a feeling they're gonna
I'd be
shoot
content
close
with just artwork, you know. I'd be content.
Yeah,
with just
I
that,
feel
you
like
know?
this might be just artwork that we get because I think they're going to be so close to pre-production, maybe just into production that they, you know, again, then again, you're right. They shot for 8 days and they gave us 8 days of footage, you know, from season.
I would
which
put Republic credits down that the Ahsoka panel, they're going to bring Rory McCann out on stage and officially announce the recast of Balin. That's
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think, man, it'd be so cool. But like, I feel like they're probably gonna bring out maybe some. They're gonna probably showcase something of like the Rebels crew is gonna be officially reuniting in this season, and they'll be in the Ghost, and that'll be just like. Because again, like last time, it was just a few shots of Ahsoka. I think a hand moving, and then the big thing that like blew the house up, from what I remember of that weekend, was the shot of Ahsoka and Hera walking. That shot, and people were like, "It's fucking happening! It's fucking
because it was the Rebel shot. It was the same shot.
Yeah.
And the mural. They showed us the mural too. That was the big
mural.
The mural. That drove everyone wild. I remember when that one dropped.
Yeah,
I think if there's a shot of Ezra and young Jason, I might cry, and I might need someone to like just like hold me for a quick second. I'm like, oh my fucking god!
Watch them be like, so you all saw Zeb, right? You thought that was fake. He's real. You want to meet him? And then like Zeb walks out and he's somehow really there. Introducing the first Lasat. We grew him in a lab.
There you go.
They got the money for it, man.
Sure, Chopper will be there. They'll
Uncle
bring
Bob
Chopper up.
Open up an account just for Zeb. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a cool thing to see them, and Rosario's gonna be there. I wouldn't be surprised if they got Ashley excited to moderate that. That would be so poetic. Be like,
that'd be cool.
Salute to the past and whatnot. I think for that day we got after Ahsoka. We got celebrating the stories of Jedi, Fallen Order, and Survivor. I think we got some more
droid racing.
yeah. Blast points, Doug Chang's masterclass. I think anytime if you can get squeeze in time to meet people.
I tried to get into Doug Chang 2022, and every time I was cut out of the online system, I didn't get the chance to see him. I really, I do production design and set design, so I'm like, that's my passion. And one day I'll get to meet him.
Yeah, he passed me by while I was in the Ahsoka panel, and I was just like,
I saw him from a distance walking outside. But anyway, back to this.
Honestly, art directors and production designers are the people I want to meet the most.
Yeah.
When it comes to Star Wars, the people that came up with the visual language. Yeah. That's what I love about it the most. So right there with you, honestly.
Yeah.
I think, and I could be wrong, but I think the last big two stuff happening that day is a conversation with Oscar Isaac and the Galaxy stage at 2:45, which they said they're going to be celebrating The Force Awakens because it's going to be the 10th anniversary, which is.
Did that say a screening of the Siege of Mandalore?
And at the last thing will be at 3:30, a screening of the Siege of Mandalore on the celebration stage, which they've done now twice or 3 times, and I've missed them, and I'm like,
I'd watch it. I'd love to see it on
worth checking, bro. Yeah, I saw it in Celebration 22, and it was so good to see. Anything Star Wars that you can see that would normally be on a TV format, to see it on the big screen, do it. It is.
That's what I try to do. Like anytime they do like the what is it called? Like the anniversaries for like the
release
movies and stuff.
Oh, every time.
Like I was too young to see the movies in theaters until Force Awakens. As young as that makes me sound.
I was there for all of them.
I think I was like. I think I was like 5 when Revenge of the Sith came out.
Yeah, 7 when
I missed the first 2 because I wasn't born yet, but I was there for Jedi on.
Fair enough.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was 13 when Jedi.
I'd kill to see some of these, even some of the episodes, man. Like on a big screen, like for sure.
Yeah. I think the most I've done is just during like movie marathons. Like for Force Awakens, I saw all 6 before it, and for Rise, I did all 9. Back to back, and it was just that day sucked for my legs. Anyway,
I'm sure.
But yeah, I think then Sunday will conclude the festivities of Celebration, and the big one coming out is the first look at Star Wars Visions Volume 3 at 10 a.m. on all 3 stages. You'll be able to see it. And,
which we got that Pitch dropped yesterday or 2 days ago, the image of the artwork, right?
I tried putting it right now, but the damn thing wouldn't load up. But yeah, it was a cool like orange shot of the stormtroopers, and it's like to me, whenever
black, right? The episode.
It's supposed to. The big smear was orange. It's supposed to represent like the tortured psyche of a stormtrooper knowing he's losing a battle. Like it's
I haven't read
psychological. That's the synopsis that came out alongside that image.
I actually avoided, because they're so short. I've been avoiding, like, I'll watch the first trailer that they'll drop, but I avoid a lot of the information.
That makes sense, honestly, because they're so short. They give away too much.
Yeah. But that's actually really cool.
Yeah, because that could go in any direction. That doesn't really tell you what's about to happen, just like a concept.
I was so happy not to read much about the first episode of Volume 2 with the painting, with the lady with the robotic arm.
So good.
It was so good.
That was the French studio, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Visions is one that, like, it whenever it does appear, it's almost like, this is a new, fresh thing that I don't have to set up too much expectations, except that, like, all right, show me what you got. What's something that I won't be familiar from Volume 1 or Volume 2, and just give me your stink and what your perspective on the galaxy far, far away. So
Visions is actually my most rewatched Disney Plus thing. I've rewatched Visions the most times out of all of it.
Really?
Because they're, for one thing, they're bite size, right?
Yeah.
But also, I just can't get enough of them. They're so different from each other. They're like they hit my vibe right. No matter what mood I'm in, like there's going to be an episode of Visions that hits that right tone for me.
Yeah. And it's so cool.
All the other shows, I got to be in the mood for them, you know?
Yeah.
Some of the art in some of the episodes are just outstanding. So it's like, what was the, I forget the samurai episode in season
Ronin.
The first one?
I love going to like a local comic book store, and it's like out of all the episodes, that's the one that they'll have like statues of because of how iconic it is.
I believe the creator of Ronin is going to be at Celebration as well.
Cool. I hope I can meet him and be like, what's up, man? What's up, man?
Like, I need to know how you came up with the Gonk Droid teapot idea. I need to know.
Yeah.
Need to know what inspired that.
And they have said that, we may not have seen the last of the character. All now we've gotten was
keep hearing.
Well,
all we've gotten is that first episode, the comic and the novel.
That's what I was going to say. We got the comic and the novel, and I thought that's what they were referring to because the novel hadn't dropped yet. But if we're going to get more on screen with these guys, I'm so down.
Yeah,
I'm so down. I think
that
one in Ninth Jedi. Ninth Jedi was the other huge one for me with the color changing lightsabers, like the whole reimagining. That was badass.
Yeah, but you know what is going to be badass is that after the first look of Star Wars Visions Volume 3 is that you go down the line, you got these cool fan panels that I'm so happy people are getting to express themselves in all different stages.
Ooh, and a vintage toy one. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, Kurosawa and Star Wars.
Yes, the Kurosawa panel is going to be lit.
Yeah. But for those who an ILM presents The Mandalorian and Beyond, to me, whenever we can see more making of, it's just a good taste, especially in this day and age where like
with ILM, I'm there.
Yeah,
a lot of making of is not as cherished as it used to be, especially in the early 2000s. That was I think the heyday of just like free film school for kids who buy
Disney wants to just like keep it under lock and key a bit more. They don't want to give away the secrets, but like, if you were a hyperspace member, like back in the day, you could watch a live feed from the film set. Like it was a crazy level of access, and I really wish we got that these days. But I think the answer to that is Disney.
Yeah. Damn it, Mickey. But down the line, out of that, at 2 p.m. This
thing, there it is.
This thing called Dark Forces.
What have we here?
I don't know. It looks something like this.
Stage, nice.
I don't know. Kyle, can you enlighten the folks about this? Can you tell them what we did?
We are going to be coming to you live from the HoloNet news stage, 2 p.m. on Sunday. So late at night for the rest of you guys.
That's so cool.
And it's going to be awesome. It's my first time doing an official podcast with Celebration. Little bit nervous, but mostly just really stoked. And also we got such a cherry time slot too. It's right in the middle of the final day. So we can just sort of like process together everything that we've just learned. Like you were saying, like, shout out to the content creators that are going to be like up to their ears with like announcements, show reveals, things to like to drop and to promote. We can kind of do that in real time on this podcast and sort of recap everything and make sure everyone is aware of all the different announcements that have come out. And this will be streaming live on the official YouTube stream as well, which means that you'll be able to follow along with this. I can't wait. I'm very excited. A little bit nervous, but Dork Forces is going to Japan.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be really, really strange to see how that's gonna pan out. Like, I won't believe it until we're there, and
it hasn't really sunk in yet.
No, and I feel like it's something that, I mean, again, you watch this stuff and you're like, okay, cool, I'll watch it till the day I'm gone and whatnot. But like, to have the opportunity, and thanks again, Kyle, for that opportunity.
Absolutely, man.
To talk about it's gonna be a unique thing, and yeah, I wonder how my energy is gonna be up to that point, because again, it's 2 days that, like, in the seek of it, you're tired and whatnot, but then you're just going, and then all of a sudden it just stops and whatnot. And so it'll be nice to just take in everything and be able to share with people, and hopefully we have an audience of everybody, not just speaking English speaking audience, but also Japanese audience, to see if beyond just the words we're saying, the energy is conveyed, and we have that bonding connection.
Absolutely, dude. No, I expect to make a ton of new friends every time we go to Star Wars Celebration. I come out of it with a ton of new friends. It's been a pretty meaningful thing, and so I'm really looking forward to that social aspect of this too. And the other nice thing about the timing of the panel is that us and our co-hosts and all of our friends are going to be there for that, and then the con pretty much ends right after that, and we're already grouped up. We already found each other, so we're ready to hit the town, do whatever we want to do after that as well. It's gonna be nice and convenient.
Kyle, I was going to ask, how did that come to be, so to speak? Did like Lucasfilm say we're looking for panelists? Did you kind of see? They
announced open enrollment.
Right.
They were accepting applications.
Cool. Nice.
So it was actually kind of a roller coaster. I ended up applying twice without realizing it.
Okay.
And one of those applications was approved, and then the other one was rejected. Rightfully so. It was, superfluous. But I got an email saying your application's been accepted and you're all good. And then I got another email saying your application's been rejected. and it has an identical title on both requests, because I just pressed the send button twice. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess I've been rejected. That sucks. And then about a month later, I get a follow-up email saying like, hey, you've been, like we said, you've been approved. You have until Friday to submit like all of these materials.
Nice.
I did not spend that month prepping for the podcast, because I was under the impression that it had been denied, and then suddenly it's on again. So it's been kind of a roller coaster, and I definitely did not spend as much time preparing as I could have. But it's going to be really fun. But yeah, I just went through the proper channels for like submitting an application for it, and
congratulations, is well deserved. That's for sure.
I'm really looking forward to it. It's
gonna be fun.
It's gonna be an adventure. That's one way to put it.
Nice.
Not really sure what to expect.
Yeah. But I think that's most of Celebration there. If anybody's watching, let us know we missed on something that you'd want us to talk about. But I think the other thing that like was really enticing for me to like, just do it, man. Like, just go. Who knows when you'll be back? Is actually going to Japan, seeing the country, seeing the culture, being able to experience all that. To me, and again, this might sound too romantic at points, but I'm like, I've just been explored through it via like animation, movies, and documentaries. Like, it's one thing I want to be able to step into that country and just feel the vibe all the way, and how different it is from where I'm at. Also, to see if there is similarities and where those similarities cross and don't cross. So
it's one of those things where I wish I could afford to stay longer. For sure.
Well,
I've got like 48 hours on either side of the con.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'll have a couple days to like do some exploring, but not enough time to really leave the Tokyo area. I don't think. It's weird. I'm of two minds of it. I'm very excited for Celebration. I'm going for a specific convention, and I'm going there to like, enjoy it, but also to make content. I'm going there as a fan and also as a creator. So it's kind of a working trip for me that just happens to be in Japan.
Yeah,
but that's kind of frustrating, because I would love to go out there and see the cherry blossoms and like explore. Like, I want to do Japan, so I'm suspecting that I'm going to fall in love with the trip and need to go back. So I'll probably be going back.
That's what I hear. Yeah,
and then actually like getting the proper experience. That's my plan.
Yeah. What about you, Busy? Because again, this is the first time you're traveling out of the States and you're going to a convention. Are you like? Has it started selling into you, or you're just like
Nah. I keep thinking that like, oh wait, maybe I forgot to click purchase or something, and I'm gonna find out last minute because it hasn't sunk in. Because I think I mentioned this to you, but the furthest I've gone is to visit family in Puerto Rico, which isn't technically leaving the country, So it's I don't know, man.
You got on a plane before, though. I mean,
yeah, it was
you
like
traveled.
Like 11, 12 years ago, I think was the last time I was on a plane. So it's I've never been on a plane this long. It won't be like this,
Oh yeah, because
16
Puerto
hours.
Rico, that's not a long flight, probably.
Nah.
Right?
So this is gonna be interesting for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at 10 hours.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking
really?
at the closer to.
I'm from Western Australia. So.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, no, that's true. Going back home to New Zealand is like 23 hours.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah. I'm looking at like 16 to 18 hours, I think.
Right. Okay, that's a long one.
Yeah,
no layover.
So it's like a 2-hour flight to Canada, because I'm in I live in Salem, Mass right now. I live in Boston, like the Boston area. So it's 2 hours to Canada and then like 16 or something to Japan. So
man, I wish I had a layover in Canada. You'll probably get on a much better plane.
Yeah, Canada Air, I think is what we're taking. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing. The only thing I've heard is Spirit Airlines sucks. That's all I've heard. So
I'd avoid it.
So I don't want to be on a flight for 20 hours with them. So I think we made a good call.
Since I'm not going on to offer you a suggestion of how to deal with the jet lag when you get there, if you try to get on the plane, you either get on dead tired or you get on completely awake. But then about 3 or 4 hours, 3 hours into the flight, force yourself to close your eyes and let yourself shut down for a couple of hours. And then force yourself to stay awake for a few hours. And you do that every couple of hours, fall asleep, sleep the best you can in a plane. No one can really truly sleep in a plane, but get to that state. You can actually time it that when you wake yourself up and you land, you wake up fresh.
That sounds like more self-restraint that I don't know if I have.
I've done it before and it worked.
Really?
When I would tour with the band, we would all get jet lagged. But we were young guys in our early 20s, and so I would just fight. I would actively fight the jet lag and I'm not going to sleep. Right. Yeah, my day starts now. Let's go. Just pound a Red Bull. But in my 30s, I don't know that I can do that anymore. I think I have to take your advice now, Brian. I gotta embrace the tired and just sleep as much as I can.
The good thing is we get there like a couple days before the con, so I think we're gonna get to where we got to go and just chill out for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
And then,
but you know that you've landed in a completely foreign land.
Oh no, for sure.
You're not gonna chill out.
It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy. No.
You're gonna chuck it, Anakin. I want to see it all, and you're gonna be out.
I always get that nervous energy when you first arrive in a new location. You have to rest.
You're gonna be on alert.
You want to go out and explore.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for that. But I'm going with my brother and then 2 other people I grew up with. And it's I'm going specifically for the con. I originally was going to try to come out of my shell and do this trip on my own. Then my brother was like, oh, screw it, I'll go with you. And then when he mentioned it, 2 of my other friends were like, hey, no, we'll tag along too. But if we're going, it's not going to be just for the convention. We got to stay for 2 weeks. I'm like, okay. I was like, all right, let's do it.
Because you're the Star Wars one of the friend group. They got to make it
I love it,
everybody.
None of them make content or anything or do any of that stuff. So it's I was just really excited to go for Star Wars, So it's
that's great. That means you got 3 extra cameramen now.
Yeah, they're gonna tag along just for the hell of it, but
because they're not gonna have their own content to make, they can make it for you.
No, yeah. I'm excited though. It should be really good. But again, you guys are getting me all excited talking about friends and just hanging out and I've gone to some conventions, but I've never really met a lot of content. I've met TikTokers in New York City, but I've never met a lot of the YouTubers that I've talked to, more than I've talked to anyone else. So it's really going to be cool.
This trip's going to be all about the 4 S's, right? It's going to be about socializing, Star Wars, sushi, and sake.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
That's cool. Man, I'm not going. I'm jealous.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't mean to rub it in.
You'll be an experiment. I'm telling you, we're getting you. I told Busy already that when I first see it, because we never met in person. First time I'm gonna start yelling at him in Spanish and we're like, hey, and I know he's gonna be like, who the fuck are you? You're security. And so
I'm just gonna think someone's being racist to me. We're in Japan. Someone just sees a fat Hispanic dude and starts yelling in Spanish at him.
I'm gonna do the same thing to Kyle. I'm let everybody know your Mexican cousin has arrived in Japan. Hang out with him, go easy on him for a week.
Have you guys been doing your kind of getting your Google Translates and stuff like that together and trying to make sure, because it's going to be obviously
you would think that we should be doing that.
You probably should.
I've been trying to do it old school. I've been trying to learn some conversational.
Oh, that's great. That's
my brother's been on he does a Duolingo. I think he's on a 40-day streak or something. You know, so I'm gonna rely on him.
I'm going as old school as possible. I checked a book out from the library.
No, how old are you now?
But in a pinch, you should have something like technological.
I got a little thing.
Okay, all right.
Now, if I don't have to pay for Wi-Fi, I could just
good point.
Stand here for 20 fucking minutes and eventually find the page. And your phrase you just said. Because
I'm making flashcards right now, and I'm trying to get a relative of mine to be like, all right, just go with me. All right, hello. I'm like, konnichiwa, and then thank you, arigato, and just get the basic words out. Be like, hello, thank you, goodbye, good night. Where's the restroom? How much is this? And just just the minimal stuff. I'll be like,
I'll tell you right now. Learn how to apologize. You're gonna.
I'm like sorry. Sorry. Forget to
Sorry.
Like we had
I can't think of a single international trip I've taken where I haven't learned how to apologize and it's come up
in their language.
We had to yell at one of my boys because he hasn't gone to the doctors in a while and he's allergic to shellfish. So we're like, bro, if you're going to Japan, you need an EpiPen, bro. We can't discuss this. This is you need an EpiPen. He's like, nah, bro, I'll be all right. I'm like, no. I do not feel. I don't even know how to say shellfish in Japanese, bro. Or allergies. We gotta.
You do not want to rely on charades while homie's choking out.
Exactly. I wouldn't even know how to do.
Sounds
do
like
two words. Right. Yeah.
2 words.
He was like, no, I'm saying he doesn't have a fucking pulse. That's someone in here.
He finally is getting that worked out. But I was like, that's the one thing that was freaking me out about going there.
Yeah, I'm just the quote unquote culture shock is just gonna be so unique that I'm like, because again, when I went to Europe, when I went to London, it's an English speaking country, but I was doing my best not to try to do a British accent and be like the governor. Who's the governor? And I'd be like, no, I'm gonna get fucking deported, first day out. And I think what I'm looking for is just that first few days, it's just settle in, jet lag and all, but also just scout. Okay, this is where the food is at. This is where transportation. Hopefully the train stuff is easy. I've heard that the Uber stuff is incredibly easy and cheaper than it is in the States. Mm-hmm. And much like Busy was saying, just the first few days, don't start spending so much money because besides Celebration, I want to hit the manga stuff. I want to, unfortunately, I think for a lot of us been hearing that Studio Ghibli tickets sold out that quickly. And so I'm trying to see if anybody finds tickets that I will buy a ticket.
So I guess they do have a tour, but it's $150. And I said I'd be down to do it, but my boys were just they weren't feeling it.
That could be cool, actually.
Yeah, I was like, so if you guys decide that you want to go, I'll tag along. I just don't want to go on my own.
Yeah, I'm down. One Japan specific thing I want to do in the short time that I'll be there outside of the con, and I think I want to try and find a massive Gundam mega statue. I know that there are several. If I can find those, I'll be happy.
They got One Piece statues just placed around too, and I want to stop at a couple of them if I can find them.
Yeah.
Big thing when you are on the floor over there. If you hit the Hot Toys booth, start taking some photos. Also,
don't worry, we'll get all the exclusive
Micro Galaxy Squadron are supposed to be. I think they're going to be there as well. They'll be doing. I think I've read they
super impressed with their new line, by the way.
Their stuff is phenomenal. I'm a huge fan.
I was just at Target shopping and I saw the Ghost on the shelf.
Yeah, the Ghost is amazing. I've got both versions of it. Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna announce a HasLab Micro Galaxy Star Destroyer that's the size of a goddamn school bus.
I don't know if they're going to announce it. That's as big as they're going to get. But I think they're supposed to be showing off some of their products there as well. I could be wrong. I thought I read somewhere
that sounds right.
Jazzwez is the main company. But
I have a lot of Armada and Fantasy Flight X-Wing models.
I love
because they look good on the shelf. But man, I'm tempted to start collecting Micro Galaxy because those would look killer on the shelf.
They are so cheap in the realm of they're the best product. You are getting every single ship in that, whether it's Clone Wars related, and they're repainting the battle tank as part of the droid battle
scale
tank.
Is accurate from one ship to the next, which is
mostly.
Well. there's always going to be that discrepancy with
totally,
action figures, just like a little bit,
but
but it is far and away more accurate than the ones that came before it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
No, it's a great series, and the fact that they all come with these little figures too, so you can actually have them in the cockpit.
And they like the paint job on some of those figures now, like the helmets of the troopers have got an implantation of the Imperial logo on them. That's how small they've gotten with their paint jobs, and they're getting better and better from when they first started a few years ago. But
when I saw the ghost,
Ronan, we completely
we derailed it. We did it.
We derailed. I'm sorry.
Look at our backgrounds and tell us you didn't expect that.
No. I'm just managing stuff around. Like that's the big thing. I love doing this stuff, but it's just like, okay, the boys are on it. I'm like, cool. Let them go watch.
But if you do get the chance, going back to Japan, if you do get the chance, definitely like photograph any of those exclusive things that have been presented there for the first time. The merchandise stuff just phenomenal.
The way I try to cover cons is I devote an entire day to B-roll.
Yeah.
Where I just my eyes are a camera and I just film everything I look at. So I can have a reference shot. So like I'll definitely be all over that.
And then edit when you get back home, take it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've been telling Busy to like if you see me like cutting loose, hold me back when we go to manga shopping, because I'm bringing extra luggage, and I don't want to.
Can you do that for me too? By the way, can you be like, "Hey, bro, you sure?"
Bro,
no, I'll bring the trank cards.
I need that.
Yeah. But no, bro, we gotta go to customs. No.
Just like
I always find that. I always find that your extra clothes that you bring are the ones that you kind of go, you know what? I really don't need this piece of clothing article.
I don't like this shirt anyways.
It's getting thrown out at the end of the journey before I even leave it. Now it's made space for you to put something.
Celebration Anaheim was I was uniquely blessed in that I had a friend who lived in Anaheim, so I stayed with him for free.
Nice.
It was really close to the convention center, and anything that didn't fit in my suitcase, he could just mail to me.
Yeah.
I don't have a Japanese friend living in Tokyo that can just mail me stuff, so it's going to be a much more strategic. So like strategy will be involved with this shopping spree.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Totally. Yeah, makes sense.
Folks, I think we're gonna be wrapping things up. I think we covered a lot of stuff. I know we had some comments from Wizard Nerd 76 saying, "Oh, it was also announced that a new Star Wars game would be showed. I think it's the Tactical and Strategy 1,
turn-based, I believe." Yeah,
that's what I've been hearing.
We're gonna get the Star Wars.
We can cover that. Huh? Yeah,
I'd be into it.
And he said also, and if Celebration ever comes to Canada, there's gonna be so many. Hey, bud, how you doing, bud? I welcome it.
Hey, bud, don't you know?
I welcome it. Folks, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us, the stream, whether now live or in the future. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 1,000 subs. You're gonna be getting plenty of Star Wars related and non-related Star Wars coverage in these next few weeks. Hermanos, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to geek out about a month away of something really cool happening, and how we're gonna all try to like collectively be together virtually or in person for 3 days. And I think it's gonna be a memory in the books. I think it's gonna be something that like I'm expecting to take a lot of photos and just like print them out and be like, this is when we got drunk at that bar.
From over here, I'm gonna be looking at everything and just going, check this out.
This is when Brent recorded us, like being drunk on stream and be like, sake, cops showing up or whatever. Yeah.
Here's the mug shots from the following day.
Yeah, just like but let's go down the line and tell people where can find them. Busy, let's start with you.
Find me at Bizzybron everywhere, and then of course Team JVS, and then making reactions on your channel.
Yeah. Kyle?
I'm Kyle Katarn. You can find me wherever Kyle Katarns are sold. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky. Yeah, I'm still calling it Twitter. I'm not going to stop calling it Twitter.
Yeah.
I do reactions and reviews, live gameplay. Check it out. It's a party.
Beautiful. Brent?
And then I'm Brent, Age of Grogu. You can find me everywhere at Age of Grogu, whether it's Instagram or Twitter or my YouTube channel and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Folks, it's going to be, a chaotic few weeks. I can't wait to it. But in the meantime, also, I'll be in Game On Expo 2025 in Arizona doing some coverage for that weekend right before. So it'll be a little bit of taste of an event.
Damn, you're busy.
It's It's wild, but I like it. I like this type of busy where it's like, all right, I want to wake up in the morning without an alarm clock. Just
gotta stay locked in. Stuff. No, you got this.
Yeah, but until then, folks, arigato, muchas gracias. As always, this is the way, and may the force be with you. Take care, everybody.
See ya.